Hello, I'm Linda and today I'm going to be making a birthday card. I'm going to be using the Dressed to Impress. This is a new stamp set that I've recently bought, and I'm also using the Label Me Bold just because I love these sentiments here, but you could use one of these. Actually, you could use one of these sentiments or something different for this card. These come with dies as well, so this is the all dressed up dies. They go with that stamp set. I'm only going to be using one of those, but you don't need it. You could do some fussy cutting. I'm using Real Red, Pool Party. I've got an Old Olive and a Cherry Cobbler blender pen as well. And obviously glue. I've got a black pen and some Wink of Stella. I'm doing some gold embossing today, so I've got my Versamark. So we're actually going to be making this birthday card. I'm going to be using the paper piercing technique. I'm going to be using the lipstick, and with this technique you can use your tiny scraps of paper, which is great. I'm going to be using this one. I think this was Tropical Oasis DSP. It's just a small piece which I'm going to use for my lipstick case. I've got some Real Red for the lipstick, and this is some mint macaron which I'm going to use for this bit here. So let's just start. Oh, and I've also got my card here. This is one of the note cards. These are, I think they're 3 by 5.5, and I've cut this piece of paper, which is Whispered White, which is going to go on the top, and that's 8 by 12 centimetres. We're going to do all the work on this piece, and then we can stick it on there. And if we do it wrong, we can start again. So I have a piece of scrap Whispered White here, and I'm going to stamp my lipstick on. I'm using the Memento ink, and as this is a photopolymer stamp set, you can see through it. I've just got something underneath because that makes it easier to stamp. So I'm just stamping that down and put that to one side. And then I'm going to do the same on here. So I actually want to be using my patterned paper for the case of my lipstick. So I'm just going to decide where I want my case to be, what I want to actually be on it. I'm going to stamp that down. And then we're going to do the same with the mint macaron, and I've also got this Real Red. There we go. So what we want to actually do is to fussy cut. So I'm not going to make you watch me fussy cut. So I'm basically going to be cutting. The bottom piece is going to be with this. The mint macaron I'm going to use for this piece, and the lipstick is going to be red. And I've already cut some out. So here are my pieces cut out, and I'm going to just glue these onto here. And with my lipstick I've also just gone over it with my blender pen. I've used Cherry Cobbler because I don't have Real Red. I've just gone over it just to give it a little bit of shading. And I'm going to stick all of those down. I have found that I like to use a snail on the back of my pieces that I've cut out, fussy cut out. So I'm going to start with the lipstick, and I'm just going to pop it on to where we stamped before. And I'm just using my Wink of Stella. I'm just going to go over my mint macaron. Just give it a little subtle glitter. And then I'm going to put this one on. Okay, and now we need to fussy cut this out. So here's the lipstick that I've fussy cut out, and now just using, I've got a Stampin' Right marker here, but any black marker, and just go round the edge, and then you get rid of that white that you can see, and it just gives it a more professional finish. On the back of this I'm going to put some dimensionals. So with our scrap of white paper again, I'm going to do a little bit more stamping. I've chosen this flower here, and I'm just going to stamp it with the Memento black ink. So I'm using a mint macaron blender. I did actually have the Old Olive at the beginning of the video, and then I decided that this would go with my lipstick better, as we're using the mint macaron paper for the lipstick. And then using one of the stamps that comes with Dress to Impress, I'm going to be using the Real Red. And I'm just going to stamp over my flower. And there is a die for this, so if you've got the whole set, you can then cut that out, and if you haven't, you can just fussy cut this. There is the die cut, so I'm going to put that to one side with my lipstick. So now I'm going to be using the Pool Party, and I have my piece of Whisper White cardstock that I cut earlier. And I'm still using the Dress to Impress. I'm going to be using this stamp, and I'm just going to be doing a sort of background. So I'm using Pool Party because the DSP, the design series paper that I used for my lipstick, has Pool Party in it. So that's why I decided to go with the Pool Party, and I'm just doing some random stamping. So I've done a little bit of stamping off as well there. So if you wait for this to dry, I'm actually just going over it quickly with my embossing buddy because I want to do some embossing now. Again, I'm using the same stamp. I'm using these dots. So I've got these on here, I'm all ready to go. And I'm going to do some random stamping of dots all over with my Versamark ink. My lipstick is going to be sort of here, and I want my dots to go around my lipstick. So I am literally doing some random stamping. It actually cannot see what I'm doing at all. I have some gold embossing powder. This is Stampin' Up. I'm going to use my heat tool on that, and I'll be straight back. I have done my gold, hopefully you can see that, and I'm just going to put this in my Stamparatus and put my sentiment on. So I've already put it in. I'm going for the Happy Birthday. I'm using the Stamparatus because I can then do it again if it's not dark enough. This is ideal for that. There we go. And so here is the basic background of the card. So I'm going to add my lipstick to the middle here, and as I said, I've already put dimensionals on the back of that, and then I've got my flower that I'm going to put here. So I'll just take the backing off. I'm going to place that in the middle, just eyeballing it. And then I'm going to tuck the little flower behind there. Bring in the note card, and these are great. I use these a lot, as I know I've said that before, but I do use them a lot. And I'm going to stick this just with a little bit of multi-purpose glue. And there we go, that's that card finished. And here's one that I made earlier in different colour. So I used the petal pink for the background here, and I used the designer series paper. It's the new one that actually goes with the Dress to Impress set. I've used the mint macaron for that as well, but a pink lipstick. And obviously you can just, whatever paper you use is going to give a different look to the card. So not that tricky, just a little bit time consuming. And I think you can just see that glitter on there, that wink of Stella. And so there you go. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Bye.